Hey guys, so to kick off April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, I am going to respond to a comment someone left on one of the YouTube videos asking me for what I consider the steps to healing and recovery from sexual abuse. So I've taken the last week to kind of research this, reflect on my own journey, ponder about it, fill it out, and I've come up with what I think is a pretty good list. It's 15 steps. And I'm not going to go into detail on them here because that's going to take me like an hour to talk about. And believe me, I could. So I have laid out more of the details in a blog post, which I will link in the description of the YouTube video. So check that out. I will also have it on the Facebook page. So check out those for the link to the blog if you want more details on this. I also have an Instagram post about these 15 steps. So check those out, and I'm just gonna read from top to bottom. Please know that with the path to healing, with any kind of healing journey, it is not a straight line. You will never go just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to 15 and be done. It will jump around. It may go from 1 to 6 to 2 to 4 and then back up, and you will repeat steps, a lot of them. And don't look at that as a sign of failing or of a setback. It is all part of the healing journey. There will be different events in your life, different triggers in your life that will make it necessary for you to revisit some of these things multiple times. Just know that anytime that happens, you can see it as a step in the right direction. It's not a setback. It's not a failure. It's not, putting you backwards at all. It is one more step in the healing process. It is one more infection in the wound that you are scrubbing out. And so always see it as a positive path on your journey, and know that everything I have on my list might not be in the same order for you. It might not even be on your journey, and you might have other things I haven't included. If there's something I did not write here that has helped you, please share it in the comments to help other people out on their journey. Again, this is kind of a rough draft list. It's not necessarily something I'd thought about writing out as like a step-by-step process, but I thought it was a great idea. So this is my first attempt at it, and we're just gonna start there. Maybe it'll be tweaked in the future and we'll do more videos on it later. But for now, here are the 15 steps to healing from sexual abuse. Step number 1, acknowledging the abuse and grieving any losses. Step number 2, telling someone and using your voice. Step number 3, recognizing the impact the abuse has had and seeking help. For me, this help has been therapy. I've been to therapy loads of times over the years. It's great. Highly recommend it. Step 4, coping with feelings of guilt or shame. Step 5, setting healthy boundaries to keep yourself safe. Quick explanation on this one. I included it early on because for me, I was still in my abusive relationship even after I had started going to therapy. And I, at that point, just needed to get out. Get away from the person who's abusing you. Get away from people who are pushing you towards that person, like my friends were. Those are the healthy boundaries that need to be set this early on. This will definitely be a step you will return to over and over and over again as you learn how to set boundaries. But I put it so early because for me, and maybe other people aren't like this, but for me, I was still friends with my abuser. I was still actually dating him when I started therapy, and that needs to happen. You need to break it off. You need to get out of the relationship. So that's why that one's there. 6 is working through flashbacks and body triggers. Can be a rough one, but very important. 7 is righteous anger. Anger can be a way that you can set boundaries before you know how to set boundaries. If that's helpful, then embrace it. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on the list. 8 is understanding that your abuse does not define you. 9 is trusting in God's capacity to heal. 10 is letting go of anger. We talked about having anger when it serves you, but then 10, recognizing when that anger is no longer serving you and when it's toxic and learning when to let go. 11 is forming healthy connections with others. So having healthy relationships can really be good. A good way to help you reform bonds and trust down the road. Embracing God's love for you is number 12. 13 is learning to love yourself. 14 is forgiveness, which I have a whole video on YouTube, so check that out. But I put it so far down on the list because I want people to understand it correctly before they try to do it. I didn't understand it for a long time and kept thinking that forgiveness meant I needed to be friends with my abuser, which it doesn't. And it was dangerous for me to consider doing that before I understood it. So that's why it's so far down on the list. For you, it might be higher up if that's something you get that I didn't. So that's why it's down there. And number 15, reaching out to help others. This is another one you might do earlier and it will repeat all throughout your life. Helping others is a great way. It increases your healing and it also helps light the world by sharing the things you've learned and helping others out of their dark places as well. So that's my list of 15. Remember that some of the most important things as you go through this process is letting yourself feel the feelings. Any emotion that you feel is an okay emotion to feel. Let yourself feel it. Don't shame yourself for feeling that way. And, learn to work through and process it. And I think that's why therapy being so early on this list is important. If you don't know how to process emotions, if you've never done that in a healthy way, therapy can really help. Therapists can help you learn how to work through your emotions and not just numb them or hide from them. That is something that you need to avoid at all costs. Really, if you find yourself turning to substances or even television or your phone or anything that just numbs the feelings, it's going to be worse later on to feel it down the road. Try your best to stay present in your emotions, even though they're painful. That is an important step to healing. And in every step of the process, you'll have those. You'll have different kinds of feelings, from grieving and loss and sadness and anger and maybe jealousy. There's so many different things that you will feel. Just know that you're not a bad person for feeling that way. You're not weak for feeling that way. It's important to allow yourself space to feel those, and that, those feelings aren't going to last forever. I know it's hard and it's painful. I've been there. I've been in those dark times. It's not fun. I know, but it is important to allow yourself to feel that way. That is how you get through it. That's how you get better. So, if you have any questions on these, please let me know. Again, check out that blog post for more information on it, and share this to help promote Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This might help somebody else who's dealing with their healing feel validated on a step they might be stuck on, or maybe give them an idea on what a next step to take might be. So again, you're going to hit this list not in any particular order. Things are going to repeat. Don't feel like that's a bad thing. That is all part of the journey. It's all part of the process. This is a lifelong process, not a one-time event. Remember that. Good luck with everything. And if you have other things to add to it, please add it in the comments. I will see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.